configuration will require changing the yoke interface plug configurations, the registration board jumper configurations if you have a unit that is revision F or earlier, and the vertical deflection switch. Before proceeding, ensure the unit is powered down and the power cord is disconnected. First, remove the top cover by loosening the 4 1/4 turn fasteners. Carefully lift it off and set it aside. Unlock the registration amplifier board and tilt it up. The locks are here and here. It swings up like this. The diagrams in the manual are oriented looking down at the top of the unit. You can locate the yoke interface boards here, but you will probably address the yoke interface plugs from the lenses, like this. Four separate yoke interface plugs control sweep. Plug 1, P1, is flat and narrow, mounted left to right with 6 jumpers. Looking from the lenses, plug 3, P3, is just behind P1 and slightly to the left. It has 1 yellow jumper, plus 1 more which may be red, green, or blue. Plug 4, P4, is behind P3 and to the left. It is mounted back to front with a white and an orange jumper. Plug 2, P2, is right behind P4. It also has 2 jumpers, 1 brown and 1 black. For front sealing or rear sealing mount with mirror, all 4 yoke interface plugs must be rotated 180 degrees. So, the brown jumper is facing the blue lens on P1. The yellow jumper on P3 is also facing the blue lens. On P2, the black jumper will be closest to the lens, as will the orange jumper on P4. Front sealing or rear sealing with mirror, P1, brown jumper toward blue lens. P2, black jumper toward lenses. P3, yellow jumper toward blue lens. P4, orange jumper toward lenses. These adjustments must be performed on all 3 yoke interface boards, red, green, and blue. The next adjustments require moving around to the back of the unit. If you have a unit that is revision F or earlier, you must reposition the registration board jumpers. The jumpers are coupling units that connect 2 of 3 pins. Looking down on the unit, LK8 is the jumper to the left of the unit. For sealing configurations, it must connect pins 1 and 2, the first 2 on your left. LK7 is at the bottom of the board. For sealing operation, the jumpers must connect pins 2 and 3, the 2 pins on the right. The vertical sweep configuration switch is at back of the unit. It is the 3rd module from the right when viewed from the rear. Assuming the cover of the unit when attached designates the top, the factory setting has the switch in the up position. With a screwdriver, flip the switch to the down position for a sealing-mounted configuration. Refer to Table 5.1 and double-check your work. This is the most common area for mistakes. For front sealing mount or rear sealing mount with a mirror, all 4 yoke interface plugs reversed. Registration board jumper LK8 across pins 1 and 2. Registration board jumper LK7 across pins 2 and 3. And vertical configuration switch down. For rear table mount, adjust horizontal sweep only. Rotate yoke interface P1 and P4 only on all 3 yoke interface boards. Move registration board jumpers to front ceiling position. LK8 across pins 1 and 2, and LK7 across pins 2 and 3. Do not touch the vertical configuration switch. For rear ceiling mount, it's just the opposite. Adjust the vertical sweep only. Rotate yoke interface P2 and P3 only on all 3 lenses. Do not change registration board jumpers from factory setting. Toggle the vertical configuration switch to the down position. For ceiling mounted configurations, notice that the Esprit logo on the side of the unit can be pulled out, rotated, and then allowed to retract back into the unit. It's a small detail, but one that helps instill confidence in executives and non-technical users. After you've double-checked your changes to make sure they're correct, you can lock the registration amplifier board back to its original position and continue with the installation. You will find a complete review of the remote control and all its functions in Chapter 7. Please review Chapter 7 before you attempt to adjust the focus or to register the channels. In focus and channel registration, a darkened environment works best, so it helps to have a small pocket light to help you read the control buttons. The remote control operates in 2 modes, full and executive. Executive mode restricts you to 3 functions: power on and off, standby, and 8 channel selections. Once you have set up the channel registrations, all that anyone needs are these 3 options. In executive mode, users won't be able to change your channel registration. If your remote is in executive mode, you cannot perform setup or channel registration. To make sure you are out of executive mode, enter 909 on the numeric keypad and press code. For lens focusing and alignment, you need the tool provided, a 3/16 hex screwdriver. Make sure the unit is properly connected to a source of electrical power. Power it up by turning on the main AC switch and by pressing the power button of the remote control, just like we did in the initial systems test. You have several choices in focusing and aligning the lenses. For this demonstration, we will use the internal help system for step-by-step instructions and prompting. For the next few minutes, this video will take you through the complete guided setup program for focusing and channel registration. Let's begin by assigning channel 1 for NTSC video. To do so, push button 1. Next, push the channel button. And finally, the B button. You have now assigned channel 1 for projection of NTSC video sources. If the remote LCD indicates write protected, push 20 code to toggle write protection off. Then repeat steps for assigning channel. Push 1, push channel, and then push B. The help system provides on-screen information about the operation of the Esprit using the remote control. It also contains automatic functions to step you through the focusing and channel registration processes. To get into the internal help program, press the help button of the remote control. You will see the opening menu projected on the screen. Please note, while running the help program, if the screen remains unchanged for 3 minutes, the unit will automatically invoke the screensaver mode and blank the screen. To recover, just press standby on the remote.